like, and I was the karate hottie, and that was my theme. And so sometimes, like, and then I got seriously into fighting, but sometimes people would like Google my name and the karate hottie would pop up, because that's what I originally started to do, was the bikini.com. And so one of the promoters thought it was catchy and decided to utilize that as my fight name, and so it was Michelle the Karate Hottie versus whoever.
This next one's from KDS13 at MMAforums.com. Have you ever noticed any negative stigmas about being a female fighter anywhere? Like friends, family? Has anyone told you don't do it, it's bad?
I think the only negative, I mean, there's always going to be negative, stigmas, but probably the most is just that, because you're a female, you can't go as hard as the guys. Because you're a female, you can't train with the guys, and this, which is not true, because me and Jules and Nikki train with the guys right next to them every day.
This one's also from KDS13. Where do you see women's MMA in the next, say, 5 years? Do you think it's going to take off, stay the same? Where do you see it?
I see women's MMA being side by side to UFC fighting, like hopefully like on the same cards as them.
Well, that's cool. That was the next question from Leathers at Obsessed with MMA. He was asking, do you ever see, or do you ever think that women will be in the UFC? Can you see that?
I can see it. I don't know if Dana White can see it. But I just, once, it's evolving sport, and the UFC in itself wasn't, as big as it was 10 years ago as it is now. So, it's just going to evolve just like everything else.
If you weren't fighting, what would you be doing for a living?
I would be doing martial arts, and I'd probably have my own dojo,
So nothing else, like nothing out of fighting, it would have to be?
I don't know. Martial arts has become a big part of my life, and ever since I, started martial arts, that's what I wanted to do. Like, I had a dream of opening up my own dojo. Anything that had to do with martial arts. If it was in film, I wanted to be that kung fu girl. I wanted to be Kill Bill. I wanted to be Lucy Liu on the Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
like,
cool.
I would watch that and like, I could do that.
This one's from Psychonomist at ObsessedWithMMA.com. Are you still in contact with any of the girls from Fight Girls? You talk to any of them?
I do. I actually just ran into Gina Reyes from the Fight Girls last week when I went out to try out for the kickboxing match. But I try to keep in contact with them. It's easier to keep in contact with some of them rather than others. And after the show came out, we all kind of promised each other not to let what the show portrayed each other, determine that we keep in touch or we don't, because
you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
All right. He also asks, who are your favorite fighters, female and male? Do you have any?
I have a lot. I don't know how to. My favorite, I might be a little biased, but my favorite male fighter is Donald Cerrone. But that's just because I just think he's gonna be one of the best. I love George St. Pierre. I love training with George St. Pierre. I love Rashad. And Jules, she's my favorite.
Julie Kedzie.
Julie Kedzie, just because you could just see in her eyes, that she has it, that she has that fire, and she has that heart, and that's what fighting's all about, and not stopping, not giving up, and just going for it.
Sweet. This one's from Warrior041 from the forums at SureDog. What weight do you fight at?
I've been fighting at 115.
115?
I can fight lighter. I've fought heavier before, but 115 is where
you like it?
Yeah, where I've been hanging.
And he also asks, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and raised in Aurora, Colorado. So.
And stayed there until you came here, huh?
I stayed there and then went on the show. So I was out in Vegas for a little bit and then came out to New Mexico.
All right, well, I think we'll just finish with this one. This one's from Achilles Heel at MMA Playground. If you were offered to fight like somewhere in Asia, where I guess he says the female fighters are more, smaller, more your size.
Yeah.
Would you take a fight out there?
Definitely. But it's up to coach.
It's up to coach, right?
It's up to coach.
Okay, and he has one more question. I don't know how you're going to answer this. How mean is Keith Jardine?
He's not mean. Keith Jardine's not mean. Keith Jardine is very intimidating, but it's because he has a lot of wisdom, and he doesn't need to prove himself to anybody.
He's the Dean of Mean. All right, Michelle has picked the best question of the evening, and that is going to go to Wolfman at MMA Playground for his question about having a black eye and working and people thinking she's got beaten up. So I'll contact you, Wolfman, and we will get your address and send you out an autographed picture from Michelle. All right, Michelle, thanks for coming on the show. We're going to keep our eye on you and see what happens in the future.
All right, I'm excited.
Thank you. And there she is. With the ever-growing popularity of female MMA fighting, we're very excited to see what the future holds for Michelle. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, check back often for new episodes posted, and we'll see you next time on Inside Team Jacksons.